welcome. What you say, New York City? This is your host, Jineea Butler, for the New American Perspective. And I am here today on a somber day in New York. Or maybe this is not a somber day in New York. We're going to talk about it today. And there goes my co-host. You haven't seen him in a little while. Mr.
Uh,
A. Butler on the G check.
there's Mr. G Check, the one and only back in the game entertainment. It's going down. We back in town.
Okay. Well, New York City has chosen its next mayor, and it is cousin
You know who it is, the one and only Indian finest.
Zohan Mamdani has won the New York City mayor's election. Congratulations to Zorhan. Congratulations to all that voted in New York City. Now, I have to say that there's about 8 million people in New York.
Mhm.
Only 2 million people got out. Little less than 2 million people got out the vote. So does that mean that the whole city wanted Zoran to win? Obviously not. Now, we've got a lot to talk about here because New York City is about to change as we know it. Now, if you've been tuned into us, you know AB here, okay? He has supported Zoran from the very beginning, right? So he said that he was with the affordability and everything that he was talking about. How do you feel now, cousin, on that whole process?
Well, this is how I feel right now, cuz. Ain't nothing happening because he just got in the door. So what he got to really do, he got to go in there to the new house that he gonna be in and clean it up and make sure you do what you said you're gonna do. Like I said, and I don't bite my tongue. You definitely got to come to a point to hold these people responsible for what they say. If they don't do it, me personally, I really think they should lock them up for lying to the people.
Okay, now hold that point because I'm going to give you reasons why he can't do what he said that he was going to do. Now, he's going to be sworn in January 26th, January 1st, 2026. And now the people of New York today, he had a press conference and he started bringing in his team. And so he's active. I like his energy. He's young energy. He's the type of energy that a businesswoman wants on their team when they're young. Now, do I want them to run and be the mayor of New York? I don't know. I don't want to say that the young person can't do it, but he lied in a lot of ways, and I'm going to talk to you about. So the 34-year-old Muslim Democrat socialist will be sworn in as New York City mayor. We cannot stop that. Now,
Let me
Mayor
just,
Adams had some choice exit words for New York. He talked about how Zorhan can't do certain stuff, right? But he also said, I left you, New York, with a good city. Don't F it up. And he said the F word. I'm not going to say the F word, but Mayor Adams said the F word. So he's getting cocky out there. Now, Curtis Sewa said that he was offered $10 million to drop out the race and he didn't drop out the race. So how much money do you think that Mayor Adams got to drop out the race, cousin?
he probably got a suitcase.
Right. Somebody dropped something off for him because he was totally New York and now he's unbuttoned and he's free. Congratulations to you, Mayor Adams, for whatever you came out with. I know you came out on top. Okay. So now this is the ultimate G check that Zorhan has beat the old guard in New York and also won against. And the old guard was that Cuomo, excuse me, for your younger people, Cuomo's father is a mainstay, was a great political guy in New York, and he followed behind, and Chris was on the news. And so that whole big thing is now gone. Now, I believe that Governor Cuomo, he was just trying to make up for messing up New York as the governor because he was, a lot of people couldn't get past Governor Cuomo having a sexual assault case And he also was blamed for killing a lot of elderly people during the COVID by sending sick people into elderly centers, which killed a lot of people in nursing homes and things of that nature. So people obviously couldn't get by it. Now there's a lot of people blaming Curtis Sewa. Curtis Sewa wouldn't drop out the race like Mayor Adams did, and Curtis Sewa ended up getting 7.1% of the mayor's vote. Now I don't know if that's going to change anything. Cuomo got 41.7 plus the 7% that Curtis had. They would have still, Mamdani still would have beat them. So don't blame Curtis.
Let me G check this, man. We sit back and add up excuses. We add up excuses, and like you said, it was a billion people in New York City. So 8 billion people.
8 million.
8 million. Okay, let me say that 8 million. So you saying out of 8 million, because that man got 7.1 people voted for him, that stopped Cuomo? No, that ain't. We just keep.
No, what I'm saying is Mamdani had more votes. He got 50% of the 2 million people that voted. Only 2 million people voted yesterday.
But people tired.
Out of the 8 million.
People is tired of the BS, man. You know what I mean? They feel that they bring something fresh in, and it's like if this is what we really need to target people out here. We need to take a broom and a mop to Congress and the senators and sweep and mop them old people that sit in them seats for the longest and keep making the decisions to keep us down and out. That's what we really need to do. You know what I mean? We got to find people that really, you might not do everything you say you're going to do, but do 95% of what you say you're going to do. How about that? That's a G check.
It's a 100% G check. Now, the other piece is that the Republicans got smacked yesterday across the board, across the country. The Republicans got smacked. And I put on my red today to own that I'm a Republican and we got smacked up yesterday. Now, there's a lot of things that Republicans need to continue to do. And one of the things is respect the Black vote and respect the Black people. And we would come up better because in New Jersey, you have Jack Citarelli, who lost to Mikey Sherrill by about 10 points. Those 10 points are Black votes that, you know, we have to sit around, and if we want to go get them, if we want to go help them get the Black votes, they're not going to pay us to do it. They're going to pay their people, but then we'll bring people to the table with broken promises. And there is a huge problem. So you're not wrong, cousin. Now, but our job now is going to be to hold Mamdani to the fire. Okay?
Hold on. It's a G check. We gonna hold him to the fire, but we not holding Donald Trump to the fire. We not. We
talk about Trump every week and holding his feet to the fire. Yes, we are.
Yeah. No, I know we do. Yeah. Go ahead. That's a G check.
That's a G check, 100%. And that's a G check to other folks that are not participating in holding his feet to the fire. Now, in New Yorkers can expect, okay, now listen, let's talk about what happens now. What happens January 1st, now that you all think that you're going to get some affordable housing. First of all, he said that he's going to stabilize the rent. Now, that would be wonderful. I love it. Okay, stabilize the rent in New York. It's too high in New York, right? But what happens when you stabilize rent? You stabilize the rent. First of all, he can't stabilize the rent. There's a rent stabilization board that's going to meet in December, and Adams has control of that board, and they're going to decide whether that happens or not. And I don't think that's going to happen because the Rent Stabilization Board also has the owners of buildings that are going to say, okay, you stabilize the rent. What about home improvements? How do we pay if the prices are skyrocketing and you have stabilized rents? How do we then go with the skyrocketing property taxes and everything that's going up, but the rent is stabilized? How do we then service the people? So we got to think about that.
This is a G check, right? Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example in my town, Westchester County, Money Earning, Mount Vernon, New Rochelle, Yonkers,
Sure.
White Plains. They got a bunch of brand new buildings in New Rochelle. It's still empty because nobody could afford them. You get where I'm coming from? Then on top of that, New York, y'all putting these new buildings up, making rooms like they jail cells where you can't even put a king size, a queen size bed inside a room. Only thing you could do is get a small bed in one closet. It's no room. You get where I'm coming from? But y'all want to sit here charge. It ain't just New York. You got Jersey. You got to remember these apartments that we all live in that, is a 1 bedroom. Back in the days, it was like what? 300, 500 for 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms, 1,000, 800,000. It's like, come on, bring it back to that where people can live, because at the end of the day, everything go up, but they don't want to pay us where we could do all this. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing, and I fight
That's a
against
G check.
that can be a G check, but I fight against that because you talk about they don't want to pay you. You know how hard that I have worked, cousin, to go up a ladder, right? I started out, my first job, I had $28,000, right? That was my salary. That was my first job. My second job was $36,000 a year, right?
But you
My
can't live
third
off
job,
that. You can't live off that.
No, but this was, I'm talking about, this started in 1998. My first job out of college, 28,000, 1998. 36,000, 36,000 at Rikers Island. 42,000 at BRC, 55,000. And so here's the problem with our community. Our community works one job and says that you don't pay us enough. And we've got to get to the point where we raise up. Now, the last time that I worked before becoming a full-time business owner, I was making $100,000, but that wasn't in the same job that I started in. Okay, so we have to look at life a little different, where you got to get the experience and go up. Every job requires you to do 2 years. You need 2 years experience in doing that. So go get your 2 years and then go get a better job. Don't stay at the job because you have the job and you've been comfortable. I've seen people doing maintenance jobs for 10 years. You need to become the supervisor. And if you can't become the supervisor on your job, you have to take a risk and go get another job somewhere else. And so I hate the thought that people sit back and say, they're not paying us enough. What are you talking about?
Let me G check this, because you got people out here got 3 or 4 jobs and still. Let me be honest with you, cuz I understand your ladder, but you got people out here got 3 or 4 jobs. They like they say that Jamaica, they got 1,000 jobs and still starving, still can't take care of their family. So you gotta remember this. You want us to go get 5 jobs, right?
No.
This is why. No. Hear me out. This is a G check. So we go do all these jobs, and at the end of the day, this is why these little kids out here is running wild. When did you get time to sit down back in the days where families sat at a table and we all ate together, talked together, and understand that it's no more that, because guess what? We got to be robots to keep trying to keep up to the bills that they keep raising. So at the end of the day, I understand what you're saying, But you got people out here got 4 or 5 jobs